Today we're going to be playing with a very basic technique for collage, and I've been decorating my taglets and I've also done a collage in my collage journal. So please do join me for the tutorial today on learning this extremely basic technique. Hi everyone, welcome to Hilltop View Journals, and today for my 100-day project and for this week's RachandBella Crafts 100 Days of Junk Journaling Ideas collaboration, I wanted to carry on doing a little bit of collaging, and I've got some of the taglets that we made last week and I need to do a little bit of decorating inside them, and I was a bit at a loss to think of what to do, so I thought maybe if I just come up with some kind of really easy formula, just focus on these for now, and then hopefully I can use it in other parts of my ephemera, just to get some just pretty embellishments really inside these lovely little taglet notebooks. So I did this one first and try and get it all on the screen there, and I just worked to the power of 5 really. So I had a focal point and a label, and then some background paper, and then a little bit of fabric there. So that's what I did on that one. And then again on the top I did exactly the same. I had a focal point, a backing paper, brown paper as backing paper, a little bit of fabric and another label, and I thought that works out quite well. I didn't want to put too much fuss into these because after all they're just there for little notebooks that we're going to rip the pages out of and make notes and things. And on this here, and I've got quite a few here, I've used one of Rachel's. I'm sure these are in the freebie, last weekend's freebies. I have just added some glossy accents, and I used this product. Don't use it very often. I think you can actually use this as glue as well, but so I just put a load of that on there, so it just gives it quite a nice sort of thick finish. You could use embossing as well, clear embossing, and that would probably give you a much smoother finish, but I couldn't be bothered to get all my embossing stuff out, so I just did that. So this is what we're going to try and do today. And what I also wanted to do then, once I finished working on my little taglets, I then thought that I would work in my collage journal as well. So let's move this one out of the way for a second. And let's work on this one. So again, this is quite plain inside. I didn't do anything to it, and what I thought I would do to get going is add a little embellishment there. So literally all I've got is a piece of scrap paper, 2 bits of fabric, and then a little paper flower. So I'm going to put that on there like that, use my glue gun, and then that sets the scene. So I haven't got any pink in this one. It's all blue, so I thought I'll introduce another colour. So I thought these pockets are really nice with Rachel's. Now I had a bit of an accident when I was fussy cutting this one, and I cut off the corner part you're supposed to fold. So I'll use this one because I need to cut it anyway because it's a little bit too big. But I thought I'll do a little pocket on the top here just to start. And I will cut it down. So let's have a look now. I don't think I've got a metal ruler on me. I think they've all gone somewhere else. So let's try and use this for a second. So I want to cut it down so it'll fit something inside it. Of course I'm going to keep that piece. Let's have a look at that. Okay, that's a good size. Okay, just give it a bit of an inking. So that will go in there like that. And then I can have just some small ephemera. But what I need to do is decorate this. So there's two things we could do. We could either make the pocket the focal point and use the pocket as part of the collage, or we can do a little collage on the envelope. So I was thinking of just doing it on the envelope for this one. I know it's got pretty stuff on there anyway, so it would be a shame to cover it. Decisions. But I'm going to cover it. That's the decision. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some brown paper for the backing, and I'm going to use a little bit of book page for the backing. And we need some scrap material, so I'll just grab this here, and I've got a label, so let's just ink that up, and then all we need is a focal point. Now this is quite a small envelope, so I'm restricted in what I can use. I think that will just about go on there okay. So I'm going to round the corners. So if this pocket was smaller again, I would probably just have 3 parts to the collage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that on there like that. And then pop that like that. And then you've got your collage there. So I'm just going to glue this together in the middle there, just to try and secure it in place. So it hasn't glued it all in place. Let's just straighten this up a little bit. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, and then I'm going to stitch around there and stitch around the pocket just to give it a little bit more interest. Bear with me a second. So that's all stitched, and I'm going to glue that in place. I'm not going to glue this bit here, I'm just going to glue 2 sides. So it'd be easier to get things in and out. So I really like the way you can use pockets as part of a collage. And it just adds a little bit more interest, I think. So there we go. Try and get rid of all the gloopy glue. And then you can put your elements in there. And I desperately need to do some more fussy cutting for sure. I think I've got a couple of tags here. Let's see if I can get them to fit in. Will that fit in? May do. There we go, got it in there eventually. Okay, so that's another little pretty embellishment, and then let's do the little method down here as well. So this time I will use a little bit of music paper, just for a little bit of difference, and we can go maybe with a blue label, and let's have a look what else we got here. We need a focal point. So perhaps I could use one of my glazed ones there like that, and we need another piece of backing paper, so let's go with some brown paper and a little bit of material. So let's do something different on the material. I think I'll go with a bit of yellow because I've got some nice yellow going on in the top there with that little tag. So let's try and, it's very odd material. Let's try and incorporate the yellow. I have no idea how to do this. I think what I'll do is I'll stick it down to the brown paper first. So let's pop a bit of glue on here. See if I can secure it in place. So I actually like that way. So it's good to try things out and to see what works best for your eye. So that's what I prefer there. So I'm just going to glue that in place. And then I'm going to use some Bailey art glue and just get these glued down so they don't catch. There you go. So it's really nice, quick and simple idea. And we've got lots of different colours going on there, but mainly focusing on green, blue and yellow. So I really like that. So it's a nice little burst of colour when you open this up. I probably would like to do something with the front of this, but I might leave that until I put this in situ because I don't know if it's going to get in the way. That's still pretty like that though. So that goes on there. Like that, and then I've got this one here. So this is pretty in pink, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different here. So on this one I just wanted to focus really on here and maybe up there. So I think I'm going to leave this bit here. I don't think I really need to do much. Maybe just add a little bit of material there just to add a tiny bit of interest. So let's see what I've got here. I've got this, and that can go there like that, I think. Let's use a thin bit. I'll just pop that like that. So that covers that nasty line there and gives it a little bit of interest. Okay, and then let's do this bit here, and again let's use the same formula. So I really like the print on here, so let's pop that on there like that. And I've got one of my, oh, that's cracked. Be careful, Steph, on my glossy accents there. Doesn't show up very much though. I think that's better. Nice and green. Okay, let's try a bit of brown paper again. You don't have to go complicated here at all. So we'll just have a bit of brown paper poking through. And we need a label. And we need a little bit of fabric. So I don't want anything too thick, so let's maybe use some of this. I think I'll pop that maybe under there. Okay, I'm happy with that. Got my 5 pieces together. So I can glue this in place first. Then I can use Bailey arc glue on the rest of it. Oop. And I'm going to squish the brown paper up a bit to give it a bit of texture. Oh, that is not straight. Ooh. There we go. Still not straight, but it's okay. So that's that one. So let's have a look at what we can do on the top here. So for this top area, what I'd like to create is a collage tuck spot. So what we'll do is we'll use the elements, and it's the same 5 elements. So we've got sort of music backing paper, we've got the brown paper. I think that can probably go on there like that. We've got a bit of fabric, and we've got our main focal point there, and then we've got a label here, and we'll just glue it in a position where as a whole it makes the tuck spot. So I should be able to get most of this glued with just normal glue. So you want to make sure that you don't glue any of the back. And I'm just going to wait for my glue gun to heat up a little bit so I can put this little word label on, which is from Rachel's kit. And let's have a look now. So I just want to glue down there and just glue across there, so I can make the most then of the actual space I've got. Just down the bottom like that. You could also staple this, that would look really good, I think. And then I'm just wondering what to put in there. So I've got a couple of tags and things here. I do like that. It just about fits in, but it's a bit busy. I thought about that one. That's quite nice and light. I do like that. I've got that one. I quite like that one as well. And I have got this, but I think it's a bit overkill. Yeah, it is a bit overkill. Oh, I've got this plain one in the back, which I could use as a contrast. I think I like that, actually. Let's just see if this is ready. There we go. So then that is your collage pocket. And that folds there. And that eventually slips in there when it wants to play ball. Probably what I should do is have something that's a little bit more sturdy to slip in here. It does eventually go in there. And so that's another one done. So we've done 2 on camera, and I did another one then that was prepared earlier somewhere. Not quite sure where that is. Oh yeah, got this one. So I love the colours, the blue and the neutral. I think they look really nice. So that's that one, like that. And then what's left is to do exactly the same process using 5 elements, but in my collage journal. So let's grab my collage journal. Okay, here it is. And I've got a page spread there, and then one of the last videos I did, where is it? I used a doodle. It's here somewhere. That's the tag we made there. What can I do with the doodle? There we go. And that's the doodle. Right, so I want to use this as a focal point. So it's quite large, so I might not get it all in. So let's just have a look at what page would look good. These joining pages are bigger, so I think I might go with that to give this focal point a bit of a chance. So that is our focal point, and let's have a look at, we've got some labels here, and I've also got some of these labels, and I do quite like that. I've got some more subtle ones here as well. I've got some bright pinky ones, just to add a little bit of colour maybe. Okay, so we'll leave those there like that. Then we've got some backing papers already on here, which is really helpful, but I could add just a little bit of the brown paper. And what I've also got are these repair tickets, so we could maybe try and do something with that as well. Let's see what we can come up with, or we may completely change it. And I've got this lovely, there's some lovely things in Rachel's kit. I do love them. Some lovely pages. perfect focal points. And these blue ones are lovely. And the pink. I love them all. Okay. So I've got my brown paper. Got music paper. I've got book page. I could use some of what I've got to the side of me here, which is faux washi tape, where you just put the sellotape onto book page, and then that creates, the book page then sticks to the sellotape, so that looks really nice. I do like that. It's quite big. Not quite sure how I'm going to fit it on. So I quite like, you can see the doily there. It might be difficult to get all this in actually. We'll see. Now I do feel it's missing a little bit of colour. It needs some kind of injection of colour, doesn't it? But maybe this is too big, I don't know. I do actually like that. It's so simple. And it is really, really simple. So I think I need to move it up a little bit so it's more in the centre of the page. I really like that. And then I just wonder, would this fit in? And that would fit in then as a loose bit. So I could make like a collage here as well. So let's glue this bit first. So remembering not to glue the back, and just to glue the minimum pieces, so you can slot things in like that. And what I want to do is do that like that. Right, I'm going to go and stitch across there, I think. So I did add a second piece of fabric there because this one just felt a little bit bland. So I'm counting that as one. It's not two elements. It's, in my mind, it's one element, okay? So my collage, my rules, what do you reckon? So let us now try and make this a little bit more secure. So I need to glue that a little bit more. And then to glue it in place, so I'm going to actually push it off center like that, and I just need it glued down there and just glued across here. So I'm just going to glue that there and that there like that. And I can pop some glue on there. A bit of white. Now I'm trying not to add too many pieces, additional pieces, but it's really hard not to. So I think that gives it really nice colour. I'm going to glue this bit down here. Okay, like that. And all we've got to do then is put this in place as well. So I think there. Okay, so that is like a really simple, low maintenance collage. And I really like the yellow and the pink. I just think they're just lovely. So today is the 16th of April. 25. And we've completed another page in our collage journal. So I really do hope that you found today's tutorial useful. It's just a very simple technique for collage, just 5 elements using exactly the same process. You've got a focal point, which could be anything from a label, as I've done here, these little embossed style labels, a word label then as an additional embellishment, some material and 2 backing pieces of paper. And I've pretty much done that on all these examples here. I've used it on the pocket there, and on this one I've created a tuck spot. And again, just use a simple collage here, and then we've done another collage tuck spot in the collage journal. So I really do hope that helps. I find it incredibly useful, and you can make so many different variations on this process and use it in different ways, and it'll help you to practice doing collage, because I don't think collage is easy. I find it really difficult, and you know how much I faff about and try and get things in different positions until they look right, and sometimes it takes ages to get that, so it certainly does take quite a bit of practice. And I hope you're enjoying the collaboration with RachandBella Crafts this week. Loads more to come up. We're in week 7 and week 8 is just around the corner, so I'm hoping to get as many videos out as I can in the next week or 2, but of course that is depending on time and energy levels mixed in with family life and work. Please do let me know what you think of today's video. Was it too easy, too basic for you, or is it really helpful to get you going on collage? Give me a thumbs up, and please do subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the content and you haven't yet subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.